TRW, Crossbows and Cannon 1, the Battle of Pavia, 1525, French against Imperialist. This is the second half of the 0900 hours turn. And I would say at this point, probably the only commentary to add at this point is that now that I'm mentally in the right groove to play this, I would say the only thing left is that playing this game leaves me wanting more. But luckily there are games that, so to speak, take this 1 and 2 notches up in detail. But yeah, I'm going to say what's here is okay. It just at times leaves me wanting more. So second player, which is the French side here, second player's movement phase. I don't see any units that are out of command. Real quick, Alençon has a command span of 6. There's a leader here with the routed units. Dumaine has a command span of 2. Actually, I see another 2. Huh. 2. Why? Wow, don't see that often. We've got Florange with a command span of 4, King Francis with 5, Police with 2, another one with 2. So he has heavy cavalry, and Dumaine has light cavalry. Okay, trying to figure that out upside down. Suffolk has a command span of 6, and Lorraine has a command span of 4. Okay. No units are out of command, so we move. Probably should talk about the reserve command, because Alençon has a reserve command and Lorraine has a reserve command. Now Lorraine, his units here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes away from the enemy, but the reserve command chit, all combat units in command using the reserve combat command chit may move up to their full movement allowance during the movement phase. They may never enter a hex that is closer to an enemy unit than 5 hexes away. Okay, they may never enter a hex that is closer to 5 hexes away. Reserve combat units that begin a turn closer. Okay, here we go. Closer to begin a turn. That's here. These are Alençon's units, and they are. Are skirmishers considered combat units in this? This is one thing that goes way back to my earliest experience with this rules. I wish they would not use... Well, don't use combat units or define it. I feel like I'm going way back to the beginning. Are skirmishers combat units? Who knows? Reserve combat units that begin a turn closer than 5 hexes to an enemy unit. Oh, here we go. It's just to an enemy unit. Okay, may either not move. Okay, so they can stay put. That's what I was getting at. Or move so that at the end of the movement phase they are 5 or more hexes away from the closest enemy combat unit. Okay, and there's combat unit. Sloppy rules. Reserve combat units receive no melee combat die roll modifiers. Okay, I was wondering. They can sit. They don't have to move away. That's what I was wondering. And I didn't plan on moving them. I wanted them to just stay put. Alright. The skirmishers can move, though. So they'll move like that. They'll stay put. Now here, this is not the same as Royalist Around is. I'm going to play these rules, and it's Crossbows and Cannon 2, wasn't in 1, was not in Volume 1. I'm going to have, they must be moved half their movement allowance. So routed combat units during the movement phase, have to move. That's funny, they have to move, up to half their movement allowance. They must move at least 1 hex. Okay, that's... Before I thought they were moving headlong for the rear. No, they must be moved. And they can be... Wait, they must be moved up to half their movement allowance. They must move at least 1 hex. Okay, that's better. All right, there and there and so they want to go to... What is the range of the arquebusier? 2 hexes. Okay, they want to move out of the range of the arquebusier, right there. That makes sense. Okay, but they had to move at least 1 hex. So, okay. That's actually okay. It's actually okay. I never had too big of a problem with how I understand Royalist and Roundhead's rules to be that they can just sit. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. So no need to move the artillery. Seems strange that they're so mobile, but in game terms they are, so I might as well move them back. Alright, there, okay. Alright, Florange, they're okay. King Francis. Stand command, let's see, heavy cavalry, so they face about, move 1 hex and face about again for a total of a 1 hex move. They might as well just wait. Okay. Now we go to the second player combat phase. Okay. There's always... actually, do they have the skirmishers retreat before combat as opposed to before melee? And again, this is for crossbows and cannon. Well, I should say I'll say crossbows and cannon, but it's really volume 2. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay, so do I want to retreat any of my skirmishers? No. Okay, no. So that doesn't apply. So we do go to defensive fire. All right. Defensive fire. Let's see. Boy, why'd they put the fire combat results in the range determination table on flip sides of the same sheet? That didn't make much sense. All right. So yeah, the arquebusiers have a range of 2, but the light cavalry has a range of 1. So we'll go arquebusiers. They are on the medium column. So arquebusier to the Italian crossbowman there. 5. Oops. Is 5 anything? Okay, just barely misses actually. The next arquebusier to the Italian crossbowman. 8. There we go. 8 is a morale check. So the Italian crossbowman printed morale of 6. 7. Ooh. Okay, so wow, this is really this is not looking good for the French on their left here. All right, over here the arquebusier at 1 away. That's the short range, obviously. We'll go here first. Arquebusiers against Florange and his what does he have? He has a pikeman. 4. It's probably a morale check. Yes, it is. Morale check. So Florange, oops. 6 minus 1 for being stacked with a leader. Okay, 1 minus 1, 0. Easily passes morale check. So now the next arquebus here against the... Well, wait a minute. They would not have to... Well, actually, they're 1 hex away, so I'll do this. Ooh, 10. Never mind about the morale check issue. Okay. So, that's 2 step losses. Wow. That... They're already reduced, and they only had 1 step left. So they are eliminated. Wow, that is a full Swiss pike unit. That is 10 points. That is, wow. Did not expect that this early in the game. I believe Florange is removed, but let me double check. Leader loss. Leader casualties. A leader stacked with a combat unit or units that are eliminated during melee. Well, this isn't melee. This is fire combat. He is killed if no... Oh, man, I hope they don't leave this You know, I remember this from a long time ago. And I consider it to be incredibly vague. And when you think about fire combat, I'm assuming he's left in the hex alone. That are eliminated during melee is killed if no friendly units remain in the hex. The leader is then moved news day. Leaders that do not have replaced. No. Leader alone in a hex, yes. That's it. So it does not specifically address unit being killed by fire combat. Wow. Yeah, I vaguely remember quite a while ago having to deduce that the leader's just left in the hex. But I would say, in my opinion, there's not even a hint of that. I think you just have to... I think it's one of those situations where it's the only interpretation left to you. All right. Those are heavy cavalry. Yeah, heavy cavalry. So I get... Oh, the artillery, obviously. So the artillery firing on King Francis stack there. Artillery at 4 hexes away. It's probably medium. Yes, it is. 2 is actually nothing. Oh wait, I do have to adjust. Just to remember, I have to. Oh no, these are cavalry. I have to remember to adjust for pike units, but those are actually cavalry. Next artillery against. I'll just go to that heavy cavalry. 1. That's nothing. All right. So now we go to offensive fire. Crossbowmen at a range of 2. Medium, actually. Huh. That's no issue, but in game terms, the crossbowmen have a range of 3 hexes, where the arquebusiers only have 2. Again, not necessarily an issue, but something to remember. Okay, so medium. So obviously they're going to shoot at the skirmisher cavalry there. Light cavalry. Oh, they get a 10. Oh, on the medium. That is a step loss. Okay. Now. Oh, never mind. He has a reverse side. Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, that's funny. How am I supposed to treat him? Because he's a skirmisher. Well, he is a skirmisher unit, but he has a back side. Alright, I guess I'll treat him as that. I'll treat him as a 2-step unit, is what I mean. That's a real anomaly. I think that's a real anomaly. Then he has his morale check. Okay, he passes. He has a printed morale of 6. He rolls a 5. Alright, Arquebusier, range of 2. They moved out of the way, out of range. Pike, leader alone. Heavy cavalry, artillery. Artillery is going to fire straight on to Pescara in his stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. I think that's long range. That is long range. I roll a 2. That's not going to be anything. Here. So this artillery is going to fire 1, 2, 3, 4. That is medium range. Medium range. Ooh, 9. And they are pike. And they are 2 pike. So I'm adding 2 to that. It's 11. That is a step loss. Okay. So step loss. And morale check. Ooh, 10. They fail. They fail, so they are actually going to separate. That is unstack. And route. One, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and then I'm wondering if is fire the same as melee as far as everybody else in the hex checking morale. This is not a normal. Topmost unit of the target hex suffers a step loss, and all combat units in the hex must check morale. Okay. I should not have forgotten that, but I did. Oh, they failed too. 10 and 10. That is not typical. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Some real unusual results in this game so far, it seems, anyways. Wow. You know, I've never heard the situation. I've never heard a resolution for the situation of this artillery fired on that hex, caused a step loss, both failed morale checks, must separate, which, by the way, does, you know, I'm trying to remember where it says they're forced to unstack. Where is that? Is that in this version of the rules? Is that? Where is that? I wonder. Can't remember where that is, but assuming that that's true, forced to unstack, separate. Now, can this artillery unit fire at that unit now? Well, strictly speaking, I don't see why not. And the reason why I say strictly speaking is because fire combat is one at a time, sequentially. Fire combat. Combat units may be fired at more than once in a single phase. So there's no issue there. Wait. Back up. Note, all fire attacks on a given unit or stack must be Oh, this looks like a typo. Must be completed before the results of any are implemented. Actually, that would at least indirectly preclude what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. So I guess you can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maximum range there. Which, funny, doesn't really matter that much. Oh, why? How many outlier results can I get in a short period of time? That is a step loss. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Step loss. Morale check. 9. They failed a morale check. They have a really high morale of 8. And they still. It's unbelievable. Now, they're only going to go back 1 hex because they're already at the maximum range of the artillery. So why would they go back any further? That's incredible. The results though here. All right, there's no offensive fire there. Melees, yeah, actually there are melees. So let me identify my melees. Actually, considering the French are on the defensive, some of these melee situations I was looking at earlier, I'm not going to take, because I will wait and take advantage of the stand commands on the defense. But here, one, we have the leader alone in the hex. This is very dangerous for the French. And here we have a Swiss pike unit against some skirmisher arquebusier units. So why not do something here? There's no stand and melee issue here. Okay, so, but this is going to be very interesting because of what I'm trying to avoid, the leader getting killed by having an imperialist unit move into that hex while he's alone. So yeah, let's do the melee here. Can the defender melee, or I'm always saying that, withdraw before melee? Well, let's go in order. I declared the melee. I have to. The Swiss pike, yeah, they're good. They roll a 3. Printed morale is 8, so they pass their morale checks. So they're committed. They must melee. Now skirmish units and cavalry units which have a retreat or stand command being attacked by infantry combat units may now retreat 1 to 3 hexes. Now the question is, why? I don't think so if I retreat now, the Swiss unit advances, and then and the advance of the Swiss unit might save Florange, might. Actually, I think he's still, in a very precarious position. But let's. Well, he's just not going to retreat in this case. All right, so he skips step 3. He's not going to try to retreat. So now the defender has to, and he does. He rolls a 4. He's got a printed morale of 7, so he's in. Both sides pass their morale checks. They're in. Now we go to both sides rolling there. So the Swiss pike actually get a pretty good 7. The arquebusier with a strength of 5 they get a pretty decent 6. So modifiers and results. There's only. Oh, whoops! I should not have taken Florange's command away. So he has a stand command. Actually, that's not going to help. It's actually not going to help the Swiss pikemen there in the attack. So I guess they just get nothing, actually. Actually, he's Swiss pike. Oh, but they don't have an attack command. Okay. Swiss pike receive a +3 modifier if 2 units are stacked together, or a +1 modifier if a single Swiss pike unit is attacking from a hex, but that's incredibly vague, because that is, wow. The text in the rules says, first of all, it says nothing down here about Swiss pike, but I'm assuming that it picks up the earlier text in the section, which is pike units stacked together with an attack or advance command. Attack. They are attacking, but they don't have an advance or attack command. But this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. But the player aid card says with an attack command, which doesn't even correspond in any way, shape, or form close to what's written in the rules. So, what is it supposed to be? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I am, of course, I think I have to use the tables. Maybe at some point I'll explain why I think I have to use the player aid card from Crossbows and Cannon 1. But I am. And then I have the text from Crossbows and Cannon 2. So actually, presumably, these are changes. So, oh well, I'm not going to hang on here. I'll have to check the player aid card for Crossbows and Cannon 2 later. We'll just go with 7 with a strength of 10. Oh wow, that's only a morale check. Okay, so I'll do the defender's morale check now. Oh, he fails. He rolls a 10, so actually he's going to rout. Actually, yeah, he's going to rout, actually. But now the arquebusiers fighting back. They have, oh, they don't have a command. There is nothing there. No modifiers for commands because they don't follow commands. So it's just 6 out of strength of 5, which is actually a morale check 2. So the Swiss pikemen, they roll a 1. There we go. So defender first. They are routing. 1, 2. They should probably. Now they'll just route 2 like that. The Swiss pike unit easily passed their morale check. They advance and they change facing. Okay. I think that's what it's supposed to be. That ends the combat phase for the French. I am going to take a look at the recovery / rally phase.